Oh, that's right. We're here, Sharp Facets Gallery, 4:07 in the afternoon. And who do I have here but the one and only Carey Bolt. He is the Veterans Affairs Officer down there at the magnificent Greenwood Veterans Center, which has come a long way, baby, since you guys took it over. How you doing today, Carey?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. And you're not tired, are you?
No, ma'am. I'm just wore out.
You're beyond tired.
Yes, ma'am.
I understand that. You getting a vacation this year, Carey?
I don't even know how to... What is a vacation?
What is a vacation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, well, I haven't figured that one out either, so I'm with you on that boat. But gosh, you got some exciting stuff here to talk about. And of course, we've got so many things going on coming up during the Festival of Flowers. Looks like we're going to have an air show.
Yes, ma'am, we are. We're going to have an air show this year, and it's going to be 22 June, and we're going to open house at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's going to last to 4 in the afternoon.
Wow. And what's going to be happening at the air show? I mean, last year, the air show they did was quite spectacular, and I'm sure they're planning to make it even bigger this year.
Yes, ma'am, it's supposed to be bigger and better this year. They've asked the Veterans Affairs Office to be a part of it, and we're going to have a lot of different aircraft fly in for the day. There are going to be people that are paying for rides. You can also pay for rides in advance. And at 1 o'clock, we're actually going to have a paratrooper come in and open our first small portion of the Hall of Heroes program. And we're going to honor 4 veterans this year.
Wow. Who all is going to be honored there, Carey?
Well, let's see here. We're going to have Mr. David Andrews. He's a Vietnam pilot. We're going to have Mr. Charles Drake, Vietnam pilot. Mr. William T. Rice, World War II pilot. And posthumous for Mr. John T. Naves, World War II pilot.
Wow. That's terrific. That is terrific, and what a perfect place to do it out there at the airport. You know, one of the things, Carey, every time we talk about the airport here in Greenwood, I'm sure the phone is going to ring and somebody's going to say, we have an airport here in Greenwood.
Yes, ma'am. We do.
We have a darn nice airport.
It is very nice, and it's large, too. As a matter of fact, we had requested military planes come in this year, and things were looking pretty good to the last minute, and sequestration killed us.
Sequestration.
Yes, ma'am. Gotta love it.
Yeah. No, you don't. But wow, that is a shame because I would love to see a big show going on. But they are going to be doing airplane rides with a World War II trainer steerman.
Yes, ma'am. They've got that, and another thing they're bringing in, we're trying to get is a Huey helicopter, and that's
one of those things that anybody who served in Vietnam. That particular noise, I understand that, is supposed to be very symbolic.
Yes, ma'am. So if you want to bring back memories for one of your veterans, bring them out. That'd be the place to get that.
Get that memories. Yeah,
that's right.
Absolutely. Well, I think this is going to be terrific. They're going to have the restored military vehicles. I presume that's the group coming up out of Columbia.
Yes, ma'am.
They do a fantastic job. And the thing I like about them is they talk to everybody and they'll answer your questions. So if you ever have young people or kids that want to see all this stuff, it really is phenomenal what they bring.
Yes, ma'am. They know about the history of what they're wearing, as far as uniforms, and also their equipment and
machine guns, the whole 9 yards.
They have it all, and I mean, good people, really good people.
Absolutely. So they'll be coming in, and then they'll have things flying in. And last year they had the remote control planes. I presume they'll probably be doing that.
You're going to do that too.
And there are from real small ones to ones that look like you can almost climb in.
I'm telling you, I didn't get to go to last year's,
right.
But I've seen some of their equipment, and it's impressive.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then antique and vintage automobiles, so they'll have rock and roll cruisers, the Emerald City Region Car Club, the Abbeville Wheels of Time Car Club are all going to be on display. That'll be quite impressive.
I can tell you this, it'll be a full day of events, and if you had nothing to do that day, which I'm for sure nobody does, they should come out and be there.
Absolutely. That'll be actually the last weekend of the Festival of Flowers. So, and it looks like they have a website, Air Expo Greenwood, airexpogwd.com, to be able to check that out. So please go there and look at it. And also, we are going to have Roxy coming on. Roxy coming on. She's the engineer, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Roxy's going to be coming on, and we're going to be talking about her and what's going to be going on with the air show. So you'll have to stay tuned for that show. That's going to be a good one, and maybe you can get involved and help bring some more things here for the air show. God, who would believe Greenwood would be having an air show? That's pretty impressive.
Greenwood's a great place.
Absolutely.
We've got to have it.
You got to have it. Now, on this Hall of Heroes, one of the things that I think is so neat is last week I was down there with Carol Scales and group, and they are going to be doing the Hall of Heroes Museum right there at the Veterans Center. That is going to be tremendous, Carey.
Yes, ma'am. You know, I can tell you back a little over a year ago when we first got the building, I never thought we'd ever get to the point where we were opening a museum, but it's come to be. And we've got Mrs. Carol Scales, great lady. She's also a veteran, and I couldn't ask for a better person to run our committee for our Hall of Heroes Museum. And we're going to actually start taking donations, as a matter of fact, this Thursday between 1 and 5. And we beg everybody in the community to please come in.
But probably not on this Thursday.
Anything. Come in anytime.
Okay.
Come in
But
anytime.
Carol said if everybody came this Thursday, they might be a little overwhelmed. But they want a good group coming, and then every Thursday they'll
want to
be
be
taking
overwhelmed.
this in. Yeah.
Yes, overwhelm them.
Overwhelm them?
Yes.
Yeah. And particularly starting with some of the old World War I stuff, that's what they really are looking for, because that's getting harder and harder to find out there.
Yes, ma'am.
So, and then you'll set up the museum in that, what shall we say, the big side room there, I understand.
They're going to use the smaller of the two big
Right.
rooms, and we're going to work our way out into the larger room.
Mhm.
And I think it won't take but a skinny minute to be into the big room. But I'm just excited. I can't wait.
And what, now, one of the things that I was impressed of about your group is that different ones went to different museums around the state to see how other places are setting up these museums, and had some good ideas and things that they want to do. I think that was an excellent idea.
Yes, ma'am, it is. Mrs. Scales' committee, they worked really hard. They got all their information together. And the main thing we wanted to do was to be able to account for all the equipment that people donated, and also get the history behind it and where it came from. I was actually able to get the county to come in. They gave us a couple of computers. They got us a program. So now we can catalog everything and have a total inventory and know about everything at any given time.
Sure.
Plus, we also have enough room in the library that we have an attic upstairs, so we can change out eras.
To change displays,
That's
yes,
right.
absolutely. I think that is phenomenal. I think it's really exciting, and I think this will really add another dimension to the Veterans Center over there. So kudos for putting this all together, and kudos for having a dedicated staff that want to put this together, a committee with Carol and group. I mean, they all were very excited about this.
Yes, ma'am. Great people, and I mean, that's all I ask is people come in and see and meet everybody.
Sure. So if you've got items that you have wanted to donate, if you'd like it to be in memory of some veteran in your family, then please take these items down there. They are anxious to get them cataloged and get them in there. In fact, I understand that the computer program was actually one like what the museum across the street uses.
That's correct. As a matter of fact, also speaking of the Greenwood Museum,
Mhm.
we're going to take and work with them, and because they had some military equipment that was donated, and we want to try to work hand in hand with each other.
Sure.
So just as soon as you get through going through our museum, you can go across the street and learn all about Greenwood.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So now, any idea when when the displays will start coming together, Carey?
I think probably once we see how the public does, and once they start bringing in stuff, we can pretty much tell probably within the first 30 days of when we'll actually open to the public.
Wow. But the most important thing is being able to take these donations and have them secure, because as time goes by, if somebody dies and then the stuff is moved and this type of thing, the problem is it has a tendency to get lost. And one of the things you'll be able to to say is that everything will be secure there and it'll be there for forever.
You know, I had a man walk in probably about 4 months ago. I went to an organization and just said, in general, that we're going to open a museum in the future.
Mm-hmm.
3 or 4 days later, he walks in with a 1903 Springfield and a Mauser and goes, "Hey, play with these long enough. I want you to have them." I'm going, "Whoa, what are you saying?"
Thank you.
Yeah. But we had to bring him back in, get the information of exactly who he was and give us some history on it. But we just mentioned it in passing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've had people bring in art. We've had people bring in uniforms. And we hadn't even started taking donations, so we had to stop it and form the committee and then make it set up professionally.
So that's the one thing good about what they're doing, and with I got to say, with Carol Scales at the helm on this project, you will be able to be amazed at what's going to happen there and how that's going to come together. And you've also gotten some donations of some showcases and some mannequins to be able to belts. Yep.
Outstanding people gave us lots of things to put uniforms on, mannequins, and again showcases.
Right.
But we're still lacking. So if anybody's got a case,
sure,
or if you just got a mannequin hanging around,
you can use all these things. So when you're looking around and looking at things, think of the Veterans Center, because that is a huge facility. They're going to start in that the smaller of the bigger 2 rooms there. They're going to start there. But I think you're right, Carey. It won't take long to fill that up, and they want to have this all cataloged and professional. So I think we are just so fortunate to be able to have that. But right now, let's hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Oh, that's right. We're right back here at Sharp Facets Gallery. We've been talking about some of the things happening with the veterans. You know, Carey, I think we should let people know exactly what the Veterans Office is down there. You know, when I tell people that there's this great place that if you have questions or issues that you're trying to get your veterans benefits and this type of thing, or when I'm talking to people from outside the area saying you should check out our Veterans Center here, a lot of people are very surprised that you have all this space and all this potential down there. But first, let's just talk about what happens at the Veterans Affairs Office when you turn to the left after you come through those glass doors there.
The primary focus of the Veterans Affairs Office in Greenwood is to help our veterans with compensation, pension, and most importantly, medical. Not only do we help our older veterans, but we also help the young men and women who are actually deploying and coming back from our current wars, which Iraq is supposedly over.
Yes.
But we still have ongoing Afghanistan, and we help them, we help their families. So everything's not just dedicated to older veterans, it's dedicated to helping the dependents. I mean, there's just countless things we can do.
I think that sometimes people don't think about that, though. You know, there's all these organizations offering help, and yet the Veterans Center is there to help too.
Well, you know, and another good thing, you know, that now we've got this great sequestration going on and all this downsizing of our military. So, well, I'm there trying to help these men and women who dedicated their service to this country. I'm trying to help these people get jobs and get them back into the workforce, because, I mean, they've done a lot of great things for us and continue to still serve, you know, and it's really hard. So that's another thing. If anybody's out there and you own a business and you're looking for a great person to work for you, call me, because I've got a lot of people that really need jobs, and they're highly trained, and they're definitely motivated and want to work.
You know, and one of the things about hiring a veteran is they know what it's like to step up and be part of a team, to step up and be there day in and day out. That, you know, everybody always used to say that going in the military for it was particularly young guys, was a great way for them to grow up.
Oh, it will help you out.
Yeah, well,
it will take you from the darkness into the light.
Exactly. But I think that takes us out of, in today's society, we have so many young people are totally self-centered. And when you look at military people, I don't think they are so self-centered. They can't be if they're working as part of a group.
No, ma'am. And to have such great people now in our armed forces, I mean, understand, these people are not drafted. And there's nothing wrong from being drafted, but I'm saying
sure,
these young men and women are not drafted. They chose to do the hard deed when others chose to stay home and watch TV.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm saying. And so they are very dedicated people. And if you could use somebody and they have so many skills. And I think the other thing is, Carey, sometimes all the skills that they learn in the service, they aren't utilized. I mean, how many times have you heard, well, you don't have that card that says you went to this school or that school, even though you came out of the military and you're doing that job?
You know, I'll give you a prime example. A combat medic. You wouldn't believe the training these kids have to go through. You wouldn't believe what they have to do in combat. But yet when they come back, they're told that you don't have this particular state credential.
Right.
You know, well, that's great. So let's try to find a way to help these kids get that particular certificate. But let's also take into account of what training and also the school of reality they've been through.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. So, you know, and how are we doing on making strides on helping those like the military medical that you were just talking about? Is the military making any accommodations to work with any particular schools to make this come together so they've got the qualifications to go out there and get the job?
Some, but not enough. What I'm trying to look at right now is in the future trying to work a program with maybe job services and also with businesses throughout the state and also right here in our community. And to circumvent all the red tape where people can come in and say, look, I have the following jobs, and then I'll post them, and then in turn our veterans can come in and look. And, you know, it's just cutting through, going straight to the point.
Sure.
Without having to go through a system.
Sure. I know that the National Guard has tried to work that, and they've been doing job fairs and this type of thing to help get their veterans back to work after they come back.
Yes, ma'am. As a matter of fact, just right before I got here, about an hour ago, I had a young man just got back from Afghanistan, and he came in to me and he says, "Hey, Mr. Bolt, you know, I need a job." And I'm going, "All right, son," you know, and it's just hard to understand why somebody wouldn't want to hire this kid right away. So I've had a young man who's 22 years old, and he's motivated and dedicated. He's looking to go to school. He's got the money to go to school and get trained for somebody who wants him to do something good.
Well, see, that's where it's really a win-win situation. If you look at the job pool, we're just going to say the job pool of service people, whether in the military or in the National Guard, there's a win-win all the way down the line.
Sure, and when you deal with these veterans, you also got to look at it this way too. They have no criminal history, and they can take a urinalysis without the jug bottom falling out.
Well, there you go. Carey Bolt, always here telling us the straight of it. You know, Carey, I really do enjoy having you on the radio because it's always, you know, I think sometimes we lose the reality of what's really important out there.
Just the facts, ma'am.
Just the facts, ma'am. That's right. This is Dragnet. Breaker, breaker, is there a job out there? Let's hope so. Let's hope we can get all our veterans back to work. And, God, we've got guys and gals now. I mean, you used to look at it mainly as a guy's job, not anymore. We've got lots of gals coming back, too.
That's correct. We've got everything you need. Just come show me what you want.
So what should somebody do? If you're an employer and you have some possibilities for jobs, or even if you have a position, should they call you, Carey?
Sure, they can call me, or if they can shoot me something. Matter of fact, it would be even better if they would bring me listings of what they want for their company, and I can get this to the local National Guard throughout the state, or I can also get this into different military installations.
Wow, that's terrific. So they should come by the Veterans Center. Is that what you're recommending?
That would be the best thing, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the Veterans Center is actually open Monday through Friday?
9 to 5, but if you want to see me on a Saturday, Sunday, I can do that too. Call me. I'll be there. All
right. Well, if you want to call him, what's the number to call? The number is 942-8351. That's 942-8351. Call Carey Bolt or any of his staff down there. They're very helpful and very dedicated people. Hey, we're going to hear South Carolina news and a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Are you a pirate or a pack rat? Do you have a vacation of a lifetime sitting in the attic? Or a college tuition hung on a wall? Or is a fabulous retirement hidden in your jewelry box? Bring those items to Sharp Facets Gallery. We can establish value. and buy from you or sell for you. And so ends another chapter at Sharp Facets Gallery, 72 Bypass, and on the web, sharpfacets.com.
Oh, that's right. We are right here at Sharp Facets Gallery. I am here with Carey Bolt. He is the Veterans Affairs Officer. If you're just tuning in with us, and whether you are a veteran, whether you're young or old or in between, the Veterans Center in Uptown Greenwood, right there at the old Greenwood Library, is a place you need to stop by and check out. You know, I think sometimes, Carey, we think about just the fact of a Veterans Center, that it's really more medical, maybe trying to get some benefits. I know a lot of people try to do it on their own, and I know that you and your staff have taken a lot of time to help those that didn't make going through the system on their own, and they become discouraged. And then I know you've told me stories about going back through and being able to read these medical records and get them the help that they need. So that's one valuable asset of the Veterans Affairs Office, but also helping those that need to find a job. I mean, this is exciting, because one of the things that employers are constantly looking for is good, qualified help, and help that's going to be there that they can depend on. And you know what? If they've been in the military, by God, I think you can depend on them, right, Carey?
I would believe you can.
So if you are looking for some good quality help, if you have some job openings, if you know you're going to have job openings, even better, go ahead and go by and see Carey Bolt's office. If you can see Carey, he's here and there. He goes, not only does he cover Greenwood, but he also covers Lawrence over there, so he can be at either office. But if you've got job listings, Carey, let's go through one more time. What did you tell me you could do? You could get this to beyond just even the Greenwood area for those.
That's correct. What I can do, any job listing that somebody wants advertised, I can advertise it through the South Carolina Army National Guard, into their programs that go statewide, and then I can also send it into different military installations, Fort Bragg, Fort Stewart, Fort Gordon, Fort Jackson. So, I mean, you got to let me know what you're looking for, and if it's some installation, if you wanted a linguist, for example,
Yeah.
well, I'll go to Fort Huachuca, and I can send their information there. That's a linguist school. I mean, I'm just giving hypotheticals,
Right.
but I'm saying, whatever you need, you let me know. I'll find it. There's Navy. I can get it to their installations, Air Force. So let me know what you're looking for.
Absolutely. So this is another valuable resource right here in Greenwood. So whether you're looking for a job or whether you're an employer and have jobs, please see about contacting Carey. You can go by the Veterans Center. Of course, that is right there in Uptown Greenwood, right across from the museum, right behind the gazebo, the old library. Or, of course, you can give them a call down there, 942-8531. That's 942-8531. That is the Veterans Center. Good people down there, good people to know. But now, Carey,
Yes, ma'am.
a year or so ago, you and I were talking, and, there's the grand plan coming together here. What's been happening at the Veterans Center on the inside? I understand there's been a lot of redo, particularly downstairs.
Downstairs, I can tell you it's the most awesome thing ever. If you come in, I can show you pictures of when we first walked in. That's when I had a lot of hair. I don't have any hair anymore, but anyway, moving along.
There will be a video posted on YouTube. You can check it out yourself. Okay.
The long and short is, our veterans, they actually came in, they gutted downstairs, they've rebuilt downstairs, they've repainted, they've retiled, they've redid the kitchen downstairs. It's got all new appliances donated by the Woodsman of the World. You wouldn't believe the things that the ladies' auxiliary have done. They've come in and also painted in their locations. They put up curtains. It's just awesome. And all of this was not paid for by the taxpayer. It was all done through donations and free labor of the veterans of this county.
Well, that is just, when you looked at this project, I remember I was with you not long after you acquired the Greenwood Library. And I know that you had a vision, but did you ever think it would come together in the length of time? Not really that long. It's been a little over a year, hasn't it? Year and a half?
About a year and a half. I want you to know, I used to look at that CSX train a lot and really think about that headlight on it. in the first year. It was hard.
It was hard.
Yes.
But the point is that it really has come together, and people have really grabbed hold and are proud of what we have right there.
Our veterans know they have a permanent place to be due to the county of Greenwood and the county council. And like it says, Greenwood County Veteran Center. Our memorials for our stone selling will probably start hopefully next month. We have a Hall of Heroes committee that's set up to take donations. Michelle Powers, she's our lawyer. She's got us through the river of red tape.
Oh, come on, we've heard about this river of red tape.
Oh.
The IRS has been a little slow on some of these things.
Well, I'm thinking now it's going to get kind of fast for because we got through the federal side,
Right.
the state side of it, but now we're on the federal side. So I'm thinking, we're going to get that yes pretty soon. I'm looking right now.
Yeah, well, that should be a really good thing, and there shouldn't really be a question about it. But that'll mean people will be able to make donations, plus be able to buy the bricks.
That's right.
The bricks, and that'll be tax deductible too, won't it?
That's correct. And see, the other thing is the profit that we make from stone sales, all that money goes right back into the building, and we will be able to show anybody who donates and or buys anything for us or from us, we'll be able to show right down to the red cent.
That's terrific. So now, you were out there, let's see, I was there a week ago, and they were working on those front planters there, the big ones right on either side of the front steps there as you walk in. And there used to be some trees there or something, yes?
Oh, yes, ma'am. What a holiday that was. Another...
What exactly do you mean by a holiday here?
Anyway, long and short is the trees were cut down. The trees were probably about, 8 to 10 inches in circumference. And then to mask it in the very beginning, we put dirt in. The Master Gardener program put some flowers in, pine straw. It looked really nice. And then we decided we'd put the flagpoles in that were also donated by the great people of the Woodsmen of the World. And we had to dig out the stumps. Oh, what a great time that was. But we had to do that carefully not to break the brick forms around. And Public Works from Greenwood County, they came in and donated their time and effort for us. And yesterday we finally got them filled in with concrete was in. And the city of Greenwood's going to help us out putting the poles up this week, and we'll be ready.
That is so awesome. We got to do a big shout out to Woodmen of the World. They really have come through for a lot of different things there at the Veterans Center.
They have. They have been there from beginning to right now, and I can't do enough to say they are a great group of people, and thank them very much.
Absolutely. So, so we're going to have the flagpoles. Now, what else is coming for out front? Because I know you've got more plans and more things are happening.
Yes, ma'am. What's going to happen? There'll be 5 more smaller flagpoles on ground level, and that will be for the branches of service. And then from there, of course, the front yard will turn to stone for the veterans to buy. And then I've got a couple of pieces of military equipment that will also go out front.
Well, that's terrific. Well, we are here with the one and only Carey Bolt. He is the Veterans Affairs Officer for Greenwood and for Lawrence, dividing his time between both. Thank goodness Mike Pitts decided this was a good thing for you to be involved in. I know we're going to have Mike Pitts, I think, coming up on June 3rd. I'll have to give him a special thank you from you for making you work doubly hard.
Oh, thank him for me.
Okay. Hey, I'm Ann Eller. I'm here with the one and only Carey Bolt. Don't you go away. Hey, if you got a question for Carey, give us a call, 229-7984. That's 229-7984. We'll be right back. Oh, that's right. We're right back here, Sharp Facets Gallery. I'm just talking to Carey Bolt, and we were just talking about his family. His son just went back over to Afghanistan on tour. And, Carey, why do you think kids want to go into the military, particularly in your case, your grandfather, your father, now your son? It's almost, it seems like families that have tradition for it just carry forth that tradition.
I don't know what to say.
Well, I mean, it just seems like there is that, a family that is not a military family, quite often there is no, maybe, what should we say, desire to go into the military, but those that have been raised in a military family, whether grandfather and father and now son, that's a pretty amazing lineage.
I guess, a sense of honor and duty.
I think it's great. I think it's great, but, I know you and I were just talking and you were going, why?
I don't know. It's a hard question. I don't know how to answer that. I wish I knew. You hate to see your child suffer and deal with the hardships of combat, but the thing is, I'm proud of my son.
Absolutely.
My son-in-law, he's full-time Army National Guard. He's been to Iraq. I'm proud of him. I'm just proud of anybody and their children or their family member that has it's done to thee.
Sure. And yet you hate to see him put him in harm's way, and I know that's always on the back of your mind there that something could happen.
That is correct. That's foremost. But the thing is, at least I know he was doing something that he thought was right, and he believed in the country. And it is a great country.
Absolutely.
I mean, no other place in the world like this place.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And one of the things that I think about the South, particularly in South Carolina, is that it is a military state. No question about it. I mean, I actually was raised in Maine, and I really don't remember much about the military being, maybe in certain pockets, but where I grew up, the military was not a big faction. But here, there's nowhere you can go where there's not some military presence within the state of South Carolina, I don't think.
Well, like in Greenwood, for example, for the amount of veterans we have enrolled so far, there's 5,100.
Wow.
5,100. Now, there's still hundreds of veterans that are not enrolled in the VA. And then you've got to turn around and look at the young men and women that are actually serving active duty, reserve, guard, air guard. My God, that would probably put you away, probably 15,000, 20,000.
I know, then that's what I'm saying, that there is military presence throughout the state of South Carolina. One of the things we talked about a little earlier about sequestration, and of course it's an issue that the National Guard is dealing with in a big way with sequestration. But, Carey, what do you think? Do you think we're ever going to, do you think veterans' benefits are okay, and the things that the veterans have been promised, are they safe?
Ann, I'm going to tell you, there was things years ago that I would say that are as solid as this floor we're standing on, but I've never seen such back and forth and wishy-washy stuff in my life. So, I mean, I can tell you something today, tomorrow things change, so.
What would you say to some veteran that's sitting on the sidelines, maybe hasn't enrolled in the veteran, in the Veterans Administration, or is not in the system? What would you say to them?
If you served honorably, you need to come see me yesterday.
Because
if you have any medical issues, health issues, anything we can get you help with, or need a job, you need to come see us, because you are the people that help build this country.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, but I worry about what is going to change, and I know that the military benefits and this type of thing should be something that are there for our veterans and for their families. Now that brings me to another topic. You also help veterans' families, is that correct?
That's correct.
What do you do for the families, Carey?
We help them as far as enrollments in family readiness groups when their loved ones are deployed. We also help them with their military benefits as far as they're having problems in any part of the medical, any legal issues. We try to get them to the right places. Also, if their families are looking for a job, I'll put that information out too.
Now, there's been a lot of discussion about a lot more mental issues. Are you seeing that in the veterans that are coming back, particularly?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, a lot. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you why. Because you look at 1% of the country being the backbone wearing that uniform, and you keep calling the same people over and over and over. So
it's like our National Guard people that they never were supposed to go for 6 months to 2 years, were they?
It's been like a revolving the door. I mean, just as fast as you get one unit out, another unit comes back. usually 12, 14 months later, back on the move.
Sure. So there are a lot of issues for our veterans, and they really have done so much for our country. We really need to make sure that they are getting the help that they need. And of course, Carey's office down there works very hard. Now, some people would say, well, Carey Bolt, you work for the government. Do you work for the government, or are you are you helping these veterans get their benefits?
I work for the county of Greenwood and Lawrence.
Okay. So you're not really tied into the Veteran Center as far as they're not, because some people have said, Carey, that they didn't think that you could help them because you're really on the government side.
No, I'm not on the government side. I'm here for the man and woman that have served this country and continue to serve this country.
Yes.
That's what our job is.
I understand, but I just wanted to clarify that point because sometimes that's what people think, oh, it's the Veterans Affairs Office, this is really through the government, and they're not going to work through, because we know so many people that were turned down just did it on themselves, turning in their paperwork, supposing to get benefits. We have so many veterans that get out and they wait and they wait and they wait for their benefits, and by the time they get them, they're almost destitute. But that's not the position that you play. You are really, you're an independent from the standpoint you work for the counties of Greenwood and Lawrence.
That's correct. And the thing is, as far as helping the veteran, I mean, that's what our job is. We're kind of like, we're not lawyers, but we are your lawyer. If you have a problem, we will take and review your stuff. We look to see where the flaw is. We look to see where maybe you made a mistake, where the government made a mistake. Mm-hmm. And then we'll help you get back into the appellate piece
Sure.
of it, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. So I think that's always something that needs to be clarified, because Carey is there to help, and he seems kind of like gruff sometimes and this type of thing, but underneath all that is a very caring heart, and I know it. So Carey Bolt, we need to thank you for your service to our country and for helping our veterans and for being the spearhead, because I know without your vision of having a center here in Greenwood, today that library might even be still sitting there, falling down, and we wouldn't have the set we have here today.
Well, thank you, but I can also thank you because in the very beginning I didn't know lots of people in the community, and you put the word out there and you helped me get the word going, so I thank you.
Well,
and the
thank you.
veterans thank you too.
Well, thank you very much, Carey. I appreciate it. But talking about our veterans, we do have another Hall of Heroes. It's going to be, how many veterans are you going to indoctrinate, and when is this?
It's going to be September 22nd of this year. Which
is a Sunday afternoon.
That's right. No excuse. Hall of Heroes for Greenwood County this year will be 21 inductees, and it will be hosted at Lander University, and it will be held at the Culture Center Auditorium.
It's going to be inside, and it's going to be cool, then. Is that what that means?
Yes, ma'am.
That's right. It's not going to be hot.
No excuse, because it's not going to be hot. It's not going to be outside. The reason we held it outside the first time is we had aviation support. We had F-16s on standby. I cut that loose. Sled supported me in using their slick,
Sure.
old Huey.
Yeah.
And turned out really well. Just hot.
It did. Yeah, it was.
But the show will be that day on the 22nd of September at 1500 or 3 o'clock.
Okay. And you are looking for support from the community. You're looking for any organizations that would like to be involved. What exactly will happen, or how can other people get involved, Carey?
Just come by the office. Let us know what, if you'd like to be involved. We can tell you what we like you to help with, or if you'd like to show something off, or if your church or organization wants to be involved. I mean, we'll always try to work people in that want to do something patriotic, not only for the county, but for the state and for the country. So we're open to anything.
Absolutely. So that'll be coming up on September 22nd. Great time. I mean, plenty of time to be able to plan this and make this come together. Really, really, really nice. 21 inductees, and I understand you do 21 each year, and you do 21 over in Lawrence every year.
Every year we do 21, symbolic number. And the main thing is, on this date, everybody in Greenwood should be there. Matter of fact, we should have people standing outside, because you'll have time to go to church, come home, eat lunch, and then take a nap, and then be ready for me.
Well, Carey, I can't think of anything more important than honoring our veterans and those that'll be, all veterans will be honored, but super honoring those 21 that are being inducted into the Hall of Heroes. Now, each inductee gets a, how do you choose who becomes an inductee?
We review the records, and everybody doesn't have to have a Silver Star or Medal of Honor. The thing is, like one of the men in Lawrence, we had Mr. Leonard Davis. He was a Navy man. He went to World War II, came back, and he just was an air-conditioned refrigeration man forever. But the long and short is, they had funding cut for the old folks' home at the airport, and it just really galled at him so bad that he would raise tons of crops each year and take out these people, continually doing things for all those old folks over there. And to me, that's a great American. So if you got somebody that you think should be inducted, bring their stuff in with their discharge and their accolades, and we'll review it and we'll consider.
Absolutely. So anybody that has been in the military can be considered for this, so make sure you get the stuff over there. If not this year, it'll be next year. And don't forget the air show coming up on June 22nd. They will be inducting 4 Hall of Heroes on that date. So that's going to be an excellent event. We're going to have some people on talking about that. But you know what, Carey? You're going to be able to slide by because this is WCRS right here in Greenwood. We are now right here at 5 o'clock. Carey Bolt, it is always my honor to have you on the show. Thanks so much for coming by.
Thank you, ma'am, for having me.
Absolutely. That's going to do it for us. This is WCRS right here in Greenwood. Bye-bye, everybody.